Fawaka, Fawaka, Fawaka. Welcome back to another Premier League Roundup. Week 30 in the Premier League was played this week. So let's start with the Roundup. First up, on Tuesday, it was Arsenal against Fulham. Arsenal starts with the usual 11, Marino as a striker, obviously. And on the wings, you have Ethan Waneri and Martinelli. Martinelli starts the game strong, going past Castagna, whipping the ball in, but Waneri couldn't really connect with it. But eventually, it's Marino who gets the ball from Waneri. He shifts the ball to his right foot, shoots, big deflection, and it's 1-0 for Arsenal. The game wasn't amazing up until that point. Really bad first half. But at least there's a 1-0 lead for Arsenal going into halftime. Also in the first half, on one of the counters for Fulham, is Gabriel Magalhaes who pulls up. He feels his hamstring and it doesn't look good. Magalhaes has a hamstring tear and he needs surgery. Out for the rest of the season. No Real Madrid for him. And Arsenal have to find an alternative at center back next to Saliba. Back to the game in the second half. It's Saka who comes onto the pitch. The crowd is going wild. Declan Rice gets the ball in midfield. Plays it to Martinelli, who goes on a run. Gives it to Marino. Crosses it. Martinelli flicks it on, and at the back post, it's Bukayo Saka with the 2-0. On his return, scoring a goal immediately. Late in the game, it's an attack by Fulham. A shot by Muniz. A double deflection between the legs for Saliba. And it trickles in 2-1 with a couple of minutes to go. Fulham does try and get the equalizer, but unfortunately for them, Arsenal hold on to the 2-1 lead, and it's 3 points for Arsenal at the Emirates. As an Arsenal fan, I can say that the competition isn't really important anymore. We all know Liverpool is going to win. Arsenal just has to focus on Real Madrid in the Champions League. Unfortunately, with Gabriel getting injured, it's going to be a lot more difficult to keep Madrid from scoring against us. So we will see how that develops. On to Wolves against West Ham. And it's Wolves who get the win here. In the 21st minute is Jurgen Strand Larsen who shoots, and the ball gets deflected away from Areola into the net. And it's Wolves with a 1-0 lead. They do get a couple of chances, but it stays 1-0. And obviously they are very happy. Staying away from the bottom three. They have a 9-point gap to Ipswich now. You would expect that they will be safe, but you never know. Maybe Ipswich will go on a crazy run. They do face each other next week, so that will be very interesting. And the last game on Tuesday, it's Nottingham Forest against Man United. And unfortunately for Man United, in the 5th minute after their corner, there's a counter from Nottingham Forest. Elanga picks up the ball in his own half, goes on a run. 3 defenders can't stop him. He does have Gibbs wide on his left to play through, but he chooses to shoot himself, and he scores 1-0 against his old team. Great goal for Nottingham Forest, who are in 3rd and are still fighting for the top 4. They have Man City right behind them, and with this goal, Ilanga scores the winner. Man United does try. They get really close right at the end. Maguire shoots the ball past the goalie, but Murillo is on the line to clear it and to secure 1-0 victory for Nottingham Forest. On to Wednesday, Bournemouth versus Ipswich. Bournemouth lost to Man City in the FA Cup, and they can now focus on the Premier League again. Bournemouth is at mid-table now. They were in the top 4 race, but they really dropped off after bad form before the international break. Ipswich fighting for some chance to not get relegated, and they do a great job today. In the 34th minute, it's Broadhead who scores 1-0 after Enciso goes on a great run, passes the ball to Broadhead, who shakes one player off and then eases it into the net. Great for Ipswich going into halftime, 1-0 up against Bournemouth. In the second half, right at the hour half, it's Liam Delap who scores 2-0. Ipswich up 2-0 away at Bournemouth. It couldn't be better for them. In the 67th minute, Ivan Nielsen does something back. It's 2-1. And Bournemouth put on the pressure, but Ipswich holds on. 2-1 win. And they still are in fighting distance of Wolves to stay in the Premier League. It's Brighton against Aston Villa. Aston Villa is still in the Champions League facing PSG, and they're also still in the FA Cup after winning last weekend. They are also still within a shout of top 4 even, with only a couple of points behind Man City, who is in fourth. They face Brighton today, and in the 51st minute, it's Marcus Rashford with his first Premier League goal for Aston Villa. Great scenes, great counter, great pass by Morgan Rogers, and Rashford finishes it. In the 78th minute, it's Rogers again with the assist. This time, Asensio, the other loanee, scores another goal. He's in great form at Aston Villa. Late in the game, Daniel Malen comes in and he makes it 3-0 in the last minute of the game. Aston Villa with an easy win against Brighton. Next up, it's Man City against Leicester. Leicester is a real relegation team. They are in very bad form, and Man City is doing better nowadays. Jack Grealish starts the match after a long time, and he also scores after a long time. 2 minutes into the game, it's Safinho who pulls the ball back. Jack Grealish with a great finish. In the 29th minute, it's a big mistake by the Leicester goalkeeper Harmanson, and the ball falls in front of Mamouche. Mamouche finishes it off. 2-0 for Man City. Leicester didn't really have a chance this game. Man City had a lot of chances. They were very wasteful. 2-0 victory for them. Still fourth. Newcastle coming off their amazing victory over Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. Now facing Brentford. And it's obviously the gunman for Newcastle, Alexander Isak, who scores right before halftime. 1-0 for Newcastle United. A big mistake by Pope gives Brentford the penalty. And it's Brian Mbuemo who steps up and he shoots it into the goal. It's 1-1. And then the craziest goal of the night, maybe even of this round, it's Sandro Tonali who gets the ball on the right wing. It looks like he wants to cross, but he has a miss hit, but it's the best miss hit you can have because on the near post, the ball goes in. The goalie was so surprised he wasn't back in time, and it's 2-1 for Newcastle after an amazing Tonali goal. If only he meant it, it would have been even better. Newcastle secured the 3 points. Great for them in their top four race. And then the next game, another team at the bottom of the league, Southampton, have Crystal Palace come to the stadium. Southampton is practically relegated already, but they are going out swinging. It's Paul Onuachu who scores in the 20th minute, putting Southampton up 1-0 against Crystal Palace. A couple of chances for Crystal Palace, who are the better team in this game. And in the 92nd minute, Crystal Palace gets what they deserve. It's Mateus Franca who makes it 1-1. And it's unfortunate for Southampton, but if you look at the game overall, Crystal Palace didn't deserve to lose this game. And that's why 1-1 is somewhat a fair result. And then the big game of Wednesday evening, it's Liverpool against Everton in the Merseyside derby. Liverpool are just cruising to their Premier League title, the 20th. In the first half, it's James Tarkowski who makes a very hard challenge on Alexis McAllister. He gets a yellow card. Nobody knows how he gets away with a yellow there. VAR should have interfered and turned it over into a red card. But it's still 11 against 11. In the 57th minute, it's Diogo Jota who scores 1-0 against Everton. A great run from him, going past a couple of players and slotting it home very calmly. There is some controversy when it comes to this goal. Luis Diaz was offside and he was involved in the play, but VAR didn't think it was important enough, so the goal counts. Later on, Pickford should have been sent off or at least been carded, but Darwin Núñez gets a card for being fouled. I don't know what happened there. So Liverpool, they were unlucky for Tarkowski not to be sent off in the first half, and then now they are lucky with this yellow card for Darwin Núñez when it wasn't even his foul. But they secure the 3 points and they go on to the next one, cruising to the title. And the final game of the week is Tottenham and Chelsea against each other, the Battle of the Bridge. A lot happened in this game, but in the first half, most of what happened was a lot of tackles, some fighting, couple of chances, but no goals, unfortunately. And then early in the second half, it's Enzo Fernandez with a header making 1-0. Great attack from Chelsea and a nice header. Couple of minutes later, Caicedo hits the back of the net, but the goal was ruled offside by VAR. In the 69th minute, Sarr scores the 1-1, only for it to be ruled out for a foul on Caicedo. The game had some chances, mostly for Chelsea, and in the end, it's 1-0 for Chelsea. And that was this week's Premier League Roundup. This weekend, there are a lot more games, one of them being the Manchester Derby. So I'll see you guys next week. Peace.